We have to go back to where it all started. So they never do that to anyone again.
We're a family. We fight with you.
You won't win. I've always found it best not to look into the past.
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
Well, your plan sucks.
So I guess the first thing is obviously your role in the film was a big secret, well-kept secret. Was it difficult for you to not tell anyone? What was that like, that experience like?
You know, I just kind of like, when I know I can't speak about something, I just kind of throw it out of my mind. I didn't really think about it, but I'm good at keeping secrets. But it was more tricky when people would mention it or speak about it, you know.
Right.
And I just had to pretend like, yeah, I've heard of it, whatever, like, not to say, which felt like I'm almost like maybe lying, and they were like, but that was the deal. I couldn't really say. And I didn't even tell my mother.
Right.
She only found out like 3 days ago. But yeah, it was, otherwise I don't really had the urge to spill it out. But yeah, I'm glad that it's finally out.
And so how has the reaction to your reveal of being Taskmaster, has it surprised you, or have you seen any reactions that you weren't maybe expecting?
Well, I'm glad that no one had guessed. It's actually extraordinary that over 2 years, and there've been speculations and people didn't really guess, and no one else spilled it out. So everyone kept it secret. I really, from what I hear, everyone is thrown, like, no one expects it. And people are very surprised when they see me. And, and friends texted and they said, well, I had no idea. So even when they see my name in the credits in the beginning, they still don't think that I am that. Right. They think I'll come later and it's a different character. So it's a good surprise, it's working. And I think it's nice to surprise people. Mm-hmm.
So in your mind, I don't know how much you know about the comics kind of in the backstory of that character. Do you consider your Antonia / Taskmaster to be that same character? And if so, do you think the gender aspect may play into the reason nobody suspected, even when they see your name in the credits, that that's who you're playing?
Yes, definitely. I think that's why. I think people expected it to be a male, and of course it's a gender swap. But as I say, I was saying to other people, the thing is it should be, nowadays we're clear that it's about what you represent in life, what you can do, what your abilities are, what your, how skillful you are, how good you are at what you do. And therefore it shouldn't be about the gender. It should be about how good you are. And guess what? She's, when she's in that suit, she's good at what she does. Mm-hmm. It could be anything. It could be beast behind there. But when she's Taskmaster, it's Taskmaster, and it's exactly the same. Gender shouldn't make any difference.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, there's been a lot of conversation around how Black Widow is obviously led by a group of women. It's got that kind of organic feeling of woman. I don't mean empowerment, but just physical kind of power and carrying that forward and being strong and unashamedly strong. And so for you, obviously, having done action films before, what was it about this that was unique in your experience, having been in action films before?
Well, it's actually the fact that I was surrounded by lots of women, and most in this film, women drive the film, and they are the main. They are strong. They are, fearless, powerful, and usually, like in most of my action films, if not all of them, I was usually like probably one female, or one of the very few. They're usually very male, packed and male oriented. And this one is completely, the complete opposite. So it is important. It's very different. It's very different because I wasn't one woman amongst men. I was a woman amongst women. it feels great. First of all, it's fun. It's, as a woman, it feels, good to, it feels empowering also when I watch the film, because there's so many great messages in the film, and it all comes through. And I think, it's a good time to have this film out.
Yeah.
With everything that, the world has been, going through and fighting for.
So one of the other things that I found quite interesting about the character and the concept around Black Widow of the mind control thing, at the very end, I was so struck by the fact that when Antonia is released from the mind brainwashing, her first question is he dead, right? And so to me, that really hinted that she's aware under all of this. There's a part of her that's still there. Was that something that you felt true? And if so, how did that inform? Because obviously you're in this full getup, and so there's only so much, everything has to be very physical. So how did that inform, if it did, your performance as that character?
Yeah, no, definitely. That was my focus, and that's what we spoke about a lot with Kate, the director. It was very important to me. Look, there is this backstory. There's so she's this cold-blooded killing machine, when she's in this suit, and she is manipulated and controlled, and probably who knows how much of it, like, I don't think even if she wants to think, she's not let to think, because she's completely, her mind is controlled. But behind there's a human being. There's a woman who has suffered, who has been didn't have a childhood, who has been through, physical and psychological trauma, who has been abused, by this parent, or controlled by this parent, her father. And I think it's those glimpses of truth when she's not under his control, that she does know what's happening. But I think it's a struggle. It's almost like when he controls her, she has no power, right, of her mind. But behind it, there is all that. And what's interesting is the moment that the spell goes off, she is back, and she does understand. She understands what is happening to her, but she can't change it. She's probably thinking, how did I deserve to have all this, and why did he do this to me? Also that moment is interesting because it's someone who has made her this villain, who she didn't choose to be that, and who controls her and makes her a weapon of war. But he's also her father. And the only parent, as we understand, that she has. It's someone you're supposed to love. So it's it's that, I think there's a big contradiction and a big conflict when it's almost you hate them but you love them. It's like it happens often in the cases of parental abuse. You would understand that it's bad what they're doing, but you cannot help but love them, because it's the only thing and it's also the closest thing. It's blood. It's stronger than that. This is so complicated and it's so horrific, because it's like you're happy but you're sad, but it's horrible. She lost her dad. And I like that it's so complex. And
is that something that you would want to explore more with this character, if Marvel gave you?
Yes, I love psychological, complicated things, and and our minds are like that in real life. We're so complex, and there's so much, so much that we can think and understand. And I think with her, it's a very complicated case, so it could be explored a lot more. But, yeah.